Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV, where of course, as you know, on a weekly basis we take a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Big thanks of course to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks. You can see them behind me right there, and of course win yourself a case of Score during the course of the show. I'm going to tell you a little bit later how to do that. And of course MChem 24-hour pharmacy, you can see them behind me there now as well. Right folks, well as you know, Western Province Rugby is currently promoting their growing women's rugby campaign. Of course, that's being driven by the Women's Collective. And in this week, they went out to a number of schools, primary schools and high schools, as part of the World Literacy Day. So we're going to be catching up with folks from United Way, as well as Pay It Forward, who are going to tell us a little bit about their support for literacy at the various schools, as Western Province went out and did the book handover. We're also going to go back and show you reruns in case you missed it last week, where we were out at Kraaifontein Rugby Football Club. The guys are of course back at training, as well as Laguna Rugby Football Club back at training. But folks, of course, as you know, the DHL Western Province Rugby under 20 side has been doing really well, and as you know, we go behind the scenes and catch up with the players. But let's get the ball rolling. In case you missed it, Kraaifontein Rugby Football Club back on the field.
Ja nee, ek dink dit is 'n groot opset vir almal, ek bedoel WP, Boland, alle klaprugbies. Ek bedoel ons almal het tog 'n passie vir die liefde van die game en ons moet soveel nuwe vriende en ek bedoel ons almal is net welkom om terug te wees en soos hulle sê, ons almal kom net aan die go 12 weke, dan word ons weer bad news en ek bedoel dit drop ouens, maar tog is ons almal hier as 'n gees en ons is weer terug op die veld wees en ons hou daarvan om te doen wat ons wil. Ag ja, ek wou sê veel toe ons begin hoor dat ons weer kan rugby speel in die eerste friendly, ek bedoel, want as jy daar gesê daar was 4 friendlies wat gespeel word. Toe die ouens hande opgesteek het, dit is wat amper 'n jaar laas kontak speel en om 'n bietjie vir jou trots te speel om 'n bietjie weer op die veld te wees en net in ander klubs te speel wat die geleentheid ook lanklaas gekry het. Ek dink dit is 'n wonderlike ding. Ag ja, ek wil sê, dis altyd maar moeilik met ouens wat werk het en sulke goed. Ek bedoel, as die ouens wil terug is daar terug. Ek bedoel, ons is dit goeie nommers wat vanaand hier is en ek weet daar's nog ouens wat kom. Ek weet hoe meer die woord daar buite is en hoe meer die ouens sien dat daar's nog vriends wat gespeel word en die ouens wil nie wees. Gelukkig dat die ouens gaan kom. So ek dink die volgende vriends wat nou daar gaan gehou word is 'n groot positief en 'n groot step up vir 'n eindjaarseisoen vir volgende jaar. Ja, nee, ek sê ons weet ook nie wie wil speel. Ons klub is besig om vir ons friendlies te reël. Dit is lekker om 'n pre-season te hê tot in volgende jaar met 'n paar friendlies en om te kyk en om jouself te toets teen ouens wat al 'n bietjie in shape is en sulke goed. So ek sien uit daarna. Ek wil sê soos hierdie eindjaar pre-season friendlies as dit so gaan gebeur en 'n positief vir dat dit gaan gebeur. Ek dink dit is 'n goeie doelwit om 'n seisoen te eindig waar nie rugby was nie en net om homself voor te berei en positief wees vir 2022.
Het is altijd lekker om terug te wees. Ik meen, voor de afgelopen 2 jaar wat ons bietjie sukkel om aan die gang te komen. Maar ons bestuur, coaches en allemaal trailen best. En de geest wat de spelers brengen naar die veld toe. Dat brengt een atmosfeer uit voor ons allemaal om te genieten. En dat is ook om ons elke week terugkomen. Om een grote te heten en uit te zien wat voor ons ligt. Zoals ik al zei, die atmosfeer wat ons brengt naar die veld toe. In elke speler. Dat geeft altijd excitement om een week. Na een week terug te komen op je veld en wat ons brengen en wat ons inzet, maakt voor ons om elke week te komen en beter te doen. Zoals je zei, coaches zet alles in en ons als spelers brengen iets naar die tafel toe om te doen wat ons elke week doen en wat ons voor lief is. Het is altijd een lekkere gevoel om terug te wees en zoals je kan zien. De atmosfeer wat elke speler brengt en dat maakt voor ons nummers goed. Ik meen ons heeft zoveel meer nieuwe spelers die jaar. En die nummers raken elke jaar meer met die nieuwe gezichten. En het is goed om nieuwe gezichten te hebben. En het maakt die competitie voor ons als spelers op je veld baie competitief om ons beste te brengen uit elke speler. We zien baie uit daarna. Ik meen soos 4, 5 friendlies wat we zo van gehoord hebben. En kijk hoe lekker het tellen. baie goed liedjie getel en elkeen is excited vir die vriendes wat voor lê. Dus ek sê as weet jy wat voor lê wanneer dit weer gaat stop en wanneer dit aangaan die maar ons maak gebruik van elke oomblik wat ons kry. Maak ons gebruik daarvan vir die liefde wat ons bring na die game toe.
Yes, nee, ons kon nie wag om terug op die veld te wees hier. Man het hard gewerk. Ons het net hier net voor die Rugby weer gestop het. Was ons sterk op pad. Die planning het net mooi in plek geval en toe stop hulle. Ons het definitief hard gewerk in die friendlies, redelik goed gegaan in die friendlies. Ons het een of twee games wat ons laat slip het hier op die einde. Maar ja, was definitief lekker geweest. Dis lekker om te sien die vir al die hoërskoolleiers wat klaar maak van 120 wat deurkom. Hulle kom sterk hier by Kraaifontein Rugby Club. Dit is altyd lekker om nuwe gesigte hier te hê en nuwe kompetisie. Yes, laasweek Dinsdag het ons begin. Die boys kon nie wag om op die veld te kom nie. Almal was excited geweest. Dit is net lekker om weer terug te wees op die veld. Yes, ons kan nie wag nie. Ons volgende week Saterdag speel ons. Gaan 'n lekker een wees. Ons sien uit daarna werk hard na daai vriendies toe en hard na volgende jaar toe. Yes, definitief. Die coaches ken al almal hierso. Hulle weet wat om te verwag van elkeen en ons almal weet wat ons na die tafel toe moet bring.
Ja, dit is baie frustrerend. Dis stop, start. Jy weet nooit regtig waar jy is nie. Wat wag om die hoekie nie. Ons het nou weer die groen lig gekry om te speel en dis hoekom ons dadelik gesê het ja, ons wil speel. Baie van die manne is honger. En ja, nou sal die tye opoffer om daai manne se honger te bevredig en dit is hoekom ons wil speel. Dis lekker. Ja, die vriendies baie gebruik ons tipe spelpatroon op koers te kry, vasgeval teen 'n span of twee, maar niks major gewees nie. Ek dink ons was op 'n baie goeie platform gewees. Ons was reg gewees vir die liga. Ek dink ons het baie goed gedoen het hierdie jaar, maar ongelukkig was dit nou nie vir ons beskore nie. Maar ja, ek is opgewonde oor wat ons nou kan doen en dis half so amper soos 'n pre-season vir volgende jaar. En ja, as ou hard werk, dan gaan jy die vrugte pluk volgende jaar. Ja, ek is baie opgewonde oor dit. Ons werk maar hard agter die skerms om die ouens hier te kry. Coaches bel en WhatsApp die hele tyd vir spelers. En ek moet sê die hongerte is daar. Ons het 'n baie jong groep. Baie van die ouer spelers het klaar gemaak. Mense kan dit verstaan, 2 jaar. Dis moeilik vir 'n speler, weet 'n ouer speler om aan mekaar te begin en te stop. Maar ons het baie jong span, baie jong klomp spelers. En die ouetjies is lus, hulle is lus vir speel. En ja, jy kan sien die is 'n hele klompie gewees vanaand. En ja, ek is opgewonde. Ons gaan nou wel, ek dink is 5 friendlies wat ons gaan speel en dan het ons nog 'n bietjie sevens en 10 side ook wat ons speel. So wat ek vir my spelers gesê het ook is kom ons doen dit want wanneer ons nou Januarie begin, gaan ons baie verder voor wees as wat ons vorige jare met Januarie was. So die fixed level behoort in Januarie baie beter te lyk as vorige jare. So ja, hoe sê hulle? Every dark cloud has a silver lining. So ja, ons moet dit maar so sien. Ons moet dit gebruik. Ja, ons is gelukkig, ons het goeie coaches by Kraaifontein nog afgelope klompie jare gehad. En ek is baie opgewonde oor die jong talent wat ook ingekom het. Ek kyk na Lance Snyder wat vir ons by die 120's, hy en Mondrey wat daar afrig is, 2 baie goeie coaches. En ek wat al hoeveel jaar betrokke is by afrigting, ek leer nog steeds elke dag. En dis vir my 'n voorreg om sulke jong coaches hier te hê. Hulle bring 'n ander dimension na die game toe en ja, ek leer by hulle. Ek hopelik leer hulle by my ook ietsie. So nee, ons is 'n lekker familie hier so en ons almal daar's die same syn is baie goed onder die coaches.
Welcome back, everybody. Nice to have you along. Yes, great to see that the players are so excited to be on the field, in case you missed that. Right, when we come back from the break, we're going to be catching up with the DHL Western Province Rugby under-20 side. They had a solid performance over the weekend. Of course, they kick off again in, well, just about 8 days' time or so. And as you know, we go behind the scenes with the players every week. See you after the break. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Of course, the extensions around that. And, of course, as you know, the DHL Western Province Rugby under-20 side, they're back in action. Of course, the SA Cup has started rolling out. Western Province under-20 side now have 2 in a row. This past Friday, they played against the Bulls at Newlands. Came away with a solid victory. And as we do, we go behind the scenes and catch up with the players.
I think we're growing into the competition. I think we're getting momentum. The first game we drew and we sort of spoke within ourselves and said, you know, we need to do better as a team. You know? And then after that we played in PE. That was a good game, good performance, but then we stepped it up against the Bulls, I think, last weekend. The boys really worked hard, showed some guts and some determination, and yeah, I think having guys from the senior squad to come down and share the experience with us gives us that hunger, you know. Someone's telling you, listen, it's like this and this in the senior squad. You want to work and strive to get to that point in your game as well. So it helps us lift our game, I think, and the motivation comes through as well. So yeah. Yeah, it went well. I think the Bulls is a big game. Anytime you put on a striped province jersey, you want to beat the Bulls. That's the old foe, you know. So there was a lot of emotion before the game. I remember in the locker room, guys shouting, getting hyped for the game. So to go out and have that kind of performance, you know, really was good. It was good. The Lions, they're unbeaten. You know, they're the king of the pack. So it'll be nice to, you know, go to Joburg and show them out, you know, they're in their own home stadium. So yeah.
It's very nice to be back. A lot of guys have been off since last year already. Some guys were fortunate enough to play Varsity Cup, but yeah, most of us haven't played rugby in about a year. So it's very nice for the competition to be back and that SA Rugby is making it happen. Yeah, it definitely did. I think we were fortunate to play against the SA Academy side. That went very well. I think the teams like the Sharks and the Lions were all playing against each other before the competition already started. So they got a taste of Currie Cup maybe a bit before us. Yeah, maybe that contributed to a bit of a slow start against the Leopards, but yeah, we beat the Bulls, so we're happy about that, and we got a big score against EP. Traveling is massive in terms of team building. EP was a bit tough because we left on the bus on the Friday morning at about 6 and then we drive back straight after the game. So you're getting on the bus, sore bodies. It's tough to sleep on a bus, especially when you're sore like that. But for Joburg, and when we go to Joburg for the Lions and when we go to Bloem for the Cheetahs, we'll be flying, which will be a lot better, much shorter travel. But yeah, it's nice to bond with each other. We don't know each other that well. We all come from different varsities, so it's very nice to get to know each other, yeah.
As I said before, a lot of these guys didn't really get to play a lot of rugby last year and like throughout most of this year because of COVID. And I think that showed quite a bit in our first game against the Leopards. We had quite a slow start to the competition, but then I feel like as the competition goes on, I feel like our team's just starting to get a lot more confident and the chemistry is starting to become a lot better. And you can see that as we've gone from our first game to now our third game. So we drew against the Leopards, and then our second game against EP, I think we really shone quite nicely. And then against the Bulls, obviously our first tough game. I think that really tested us quite a bit, and we were lucky enough to come away with the win. A lot of chemistry was built on that bus because we took a bus up, so we spent a lot of time together. We had breakfast together at one of the restaurants, and we spent like the whole day together on the bus, cracking jokes, getting to know each other, like off the field. So yeah, even though like a lot of these guys you said before we played against them in the Varsity Cup, I feel like we made quite a lot of good friends. Yeah, I think it was quite a good win, quite a big confidence booster for the team. After that first game against the Leopards, obviously there was a lot of chat going around. People didn't think we could pull it off, but I think after that, that win against the Bulls on Newlands was quite special. So I feel like that did give us quite a big confidence booster going into this competition, going ahead in this competition. Yeah, you said it's an off week. It's just an off week, meaning that we don't have a game, but in terms of training, we came in quite hard. A lot of guys thought a big win against the Bulls would have meant like an easy chill session this week, but now Felo and the guys got us running, getting us really prepared for the game against the Lions, playing out in Joburg, so we do need to get the lungs ready to up and puff out there and hopefully come back with another win.
No, it's been good. It's been good. The guys are coming right. I think they're peaking at the right time. We had few injuries at the beginning of the season. Guys like Ethan James came back from S11 with few niggles. And some of the guys were still completing their rehab with Wayne. So I think we still start well. Against Leopards, a lot of our guys were still out. And same thing against EP within our away game. We were missing some players, and then good for us. Most of them make it back on time for the Bulls game. So I think that's when our strength came in. Yeah, I think it was very, very good for us. The fact that most of them played, because now if you get someone, like some unions of guys that are 19, the last time they played proper rugby was in K11. So now physically they're not ready. You know, the fact that guys played, physically they're a bit ready. Running wise, you can always top that up. But the main important stuff is the physical stuff, because that's when you get soft tissue injuries. And it's not really nice having those in season. I think it was good for the coaches to actually see and point out, because they haven't seen some of the players. You know? So to point out and see who actually brings it in the forwards. And for the physicality, playing against senior guys, Poland, because you play against their senior side. So I think it's good. Because now even if you lose against them, but now you come down to your age group, it's actually a win for you. You know? I think it was great. The fact that we played at home. Some of the guys have never played in Newlands, so I think it was a very good experience and a win for them. And also as a confident booster, going up to face Lions now, which is the team to beat now because they're number one. The fact that our physio, Wayne Hector, is very strict with prehab stuff, you know, that's more like making sure you're moving correct, activation before training session or gym, and he's drilling that a lot. For having a guy like him with such his experience, I think it's also beneficial for us.
Always good to be catching up with our DHL Western Province Rugby under 20 side. We keep going behind the scenes with the players, and of course great result for them then over the weekend, and we'll keep following their progress. We're looking forward to seeing what comes next. But yeah, solid results so far. 2 in a row now. Right, folks, well, as you know, on a weekly basis, we take a look at what's happening at MChem 24-hour pharmacy, and you will know that you need to get a grip on the flu season. And of course, speaking to the experts at MChem 24-hour pharmacy, they'll tell you that there are a number of high-risk categories, such as pregnant women, the elderly, and of course, young children. Now, according to the Centre for Disease Control, children younger than 5 years old, especially those that are younger than 2, are at a high risk of developing serious flu-related complications. A flu vaccine offers the best defense against flu and its potentially serious consequences, and can also reduce the spread of flu to others. Now, getting vaccinated has been shown to reduce the flu illness, doctors' visits, missed work, and of course school days, and of course reduces the risk of flu-related hospitalization and of course death in children, and that preventing and reducing the severity of the illness associated with flu will ease the burden on patients and the country's healthcare system. Of course, you can get your flu vaccine at MChem 24-hour pharmacy clinics from 8 a.m. in the morning until 8 p.m. in the evening, every day of the week. That's Monday to Sunday. No appointment needed, just walk right in. And of course, MChem 24-hour pharmacy is always open and just for you. And in case you didn't know, MChem 24-hour pharmacy is also open for vaccination. So you can go for your COVID vaccination at MChem 24-hour pharmacy. And if you need to get COVID tests there are COVID testing facilities available in the parking lot at MCAM as well. We'll of course be going to MCAM tomorrow as we go and catch up with DHL Western Province Stormers rugby player Alistair Vermaak. He's going to be popping in at MCAM, and we're going to catch up with him there. But in the meantime, we'll also remind everybody out there that there is currently a campaign to return to play, and if possible, get your COVID vaccination. All right, folks, as you know then, you can do it all at MCAM 24-hour pharmacy. We'll take a break. When we come back, we carry on talking club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Nice to have you along. We carry on taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Of course, every Wednesday night from 9 to 10. Of course, our repeats on Saturday. Right, so, well, if you've just joined us, then you will know that we spoke to Chuma Kwalelwa from United Way a little bit earlier on, who was of course telling us about the outreach project that Western Province Rugby is doing as part of the Women's Collective awareness campaign. And of course, in this case, World Literacy Day is being celebrated, and one of the partners there is Pay It Forward South Africa. Joining me on the line now is Nambrata Daya from Pay It Forward. Nambrata, welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Good afternoon, JP, and thank you for having me on the show, and hello to your listeners as well.
Nambrata, fantastic initiative. You know, last year we saw United Way coming on board with Western Province Rugby and doing food parcels and really helping the clubs out during what we all know is extremely difficult times. And this year Western Province Rugby has just taken it to another level, again partnering with United Way, but now Pay It Forward is in the picture as well. Just tell us about this initiative that, well, in fact, let's start at the beginning. Tell us, what is Pay It Forward?
So Pay It Forward was kind of created in the COVID context. It actually started last July. We were looking around to see how we could support the communities, you know, in Johannesburg and around nationally. Whilst a lot of people were doing food parcels and hygiene parcels to support the many, many families that have been impacted by this pandemic, you know, we as a family decided that, you know, we needed to do something more. There were a lot of children and lots of parents working from home. Schooling was done online. And then we realized that there was actually a big, huge problem in that with all the guys, all the people working from home, the children working from home, and what would they do to stimulate their thinking? How would they have access to, you know, things to keep them busy? And so one of the things that is very dear to our hearts is actually encouraging the love of reading. And, you know, that was inspired by my dad, who actually never really completed schooling, but always ensured that we had books in our household. He was a subscriber to the Reader's Digest. I'm sure many will relate to that. And so we looked around the house and we thought, sure, we really have 200-300 books around. What are we going to do with it? We don't need it anymore. And so we decided to find a way to send it into the hands of the household and into the hands of people who would actually need it. And so that's what inspired the project. From that point on, it started with a very small idea, because obviously with COVID, it was difficult in distributing. You know, we had to clean the books, sanitize books, and do all of that. But it started with, as I said, our household cleaning, you know, out our own home. We started with 200 books. And then I handed them off to United Way, who I've been working with Mariska actually at United Way for a very long time. And she distributed it to the rugby league communities with the food and hygiene parcels. And we had an overwhelming first response. And there was just this need that we realized that we needed to continue to do this work and continue to put the hands of, you know, the books in the hands of the people, because what we didn't want is just to be lying around in boxes, in sheds, and waiting for distribution. So United Way came to the party, and obviously subsequently to that, we also worked with Western Province Rugby, and I sent them a whole lot of books, and today's testament of you know, the initiative that happened today. So that's how
everybody's very excited about it. As I was saying, Chuma, we saw the guys in the back office behind the scenes packing books and splitting books between primary school and high school, and trying to make sure that the primary school kids weren't getting the matric books and and vice versa. But Nabrata, it's a fantastic initiative. I suppose this also goes a long way towards children being able to read something at home, especially for those who maybe don't have data or internet access.
Correct. So a big problem in South Africa is not just literacy and solving all the problems around literacy. I mean, the big problem is accessing books. And whilst there's a big move to, for digital play, we have millions of households that don't have access to digital platforms. Considering the data is expensive, and the households are actually just struggling with basic services at the moment. So getting actual books in the hands of the children in these households, and also the parents and other adults for that matter, I think is one of the good ways of actually encouraging reading, developing the love for reading. And basically, we are testament of that same scenario. We had a lot of books, and where we are today is because we had access to information and data, and we can do these kind of projects going forward, just to support communities that don't have it.
The element that jumps out for me, Nambrata, is that it just goes to show on our side again that sport and the world of rugby has the ability to reach wide communities, and that sport goes far beyond the four white lines, so to speak, and that the world of sport really does have the ability to change lives.
So I agree with that fully. And I mean, Western Province has certainly done a lot of community initiatives. I mean, not just in the world of literacy and books, but obviously in supporting, the communities around Western Province. I think the Women's Collective is an excellent idea, and definitely ties into the fact that most parents and women, would drive those kind of initiatives with their communities to make their lifestyles better and to improve their lives, and just to encourage people to ignite their imagination, solve the problem of the future. This is what Western Province really is very good at doing. And I'm glad that we could tie up with them, and that these two things came together. I think they do a phenomenal job, and I can't thank them enough for trusting us to work with them. And today's 2,500 books between high school and primary. Yes, it is a challenge to kind of sort through them, but it's an amazing, it's just phenomenal, I think. Yeah.
And Brata, we'll leave it at that. We'll say to you, thank you very much. Congratulations, great initiative. And we wish you guys all the very best for the future and the next endeavors.
Thank you very much for having us, and we encourage reading, and so every book counts. So the more we can help, we're happy to do so going forward. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks, Nambrata. There we go, folks. Nambrata Daya from Pay It Forward, of course, with the arranging the books then for Western Province Rugby to hand over to schools, which is absolutely fantastic. After the break, we're going to show you some of the footage from behind the scenes as we went out to Khayelitsha, to Delft, as well as to Kylemore, where the guys were handing over some books there as part of the Women's Collective. And of course, a number of the Women's Collective were on site to help with the books handover, which is fantastic. Right, folks, well, as you know, on a weekly basis, you can put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score energy drinks, all right? So if you want to put yourself in the mix to win this week, a case of Score energy drinks, as well as a set of masks, courtesy of CTC Sports, well, then all you need to do is go to our Facebook page and enter our weekly Spot the Logo competition. It's very easy. What we do is we take a logo, we make some changes to it, and then we post it and see if you can recognize it. So, of course, if you're a club rugby enthusiast, the chances are pretty good that you will know the logo, although it's not always that easy. But anyway, go into our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and go and look to see what this week's Spot the Logo competition is. Last week, it was Hamilton's Rugby Football Club. Now you've got it. That's the answer, the correct answer to what the logo was that we asked you to spot. And congratulations to David Sanderson. David, you are our winner this week. You spotted the logo, you said it was Hamilton's. We'll get a hold of you on Facebook Messenger and tell you about how you can collect your case of Score energy drinks as well as a set of Cape Rugby TV masks. Right, folks, as I said, when we come back from the break, we take you on the journey with us as we went with Western Province Rugby to Khayelitsha, to Delft and to Kylemore, and showed you how they handed the books over to the schools as part of the Women's Collective Awareness Campaign. Don't go away, it's great footage. Welcome back, everybody. Right, so this week, of course, Western Province Rugby went out to some of the high schools and primary schools in Cape Town as part of the awareness campaign for women's rugby in Western Province and growing the participation for women and girls. And the Women's Collective was driving the World Literacy Day campaign, where they got involved with United Way and Pay It Forward to hand over some books. We went with the guys from Western Province on Tuesday to watch them hand over some of the books at some of the schools.
It's very important for them to have some readings, get familiar to readings, because it gives them a good foundation for their studies, obviously, for them to get familiar to the language. It can be their mother language, it can be English and Afrikaans, but I think the more you read, the more you get everything right. What the message I can give to them is that firstly they need to focus on their studies. They need to first focus on their studies. At the same time, to keep them away from doing the wrong things, they need to engage themselves to the sport, because obviously it's going to be school, and then after school they go into the practice. After practice they're going home, do their homeworks and take a bath and sleep. So obviously they won't get a chance to engage to those wrong things that outside they are doing other kids. So that is very important part of me to come and tell them and alert them why the sport is important to them.
It was always our business as the school to promote reading, you know. So we had some programs whereby the children, because we are the primary school, from the intermediate phase and senior phase will choose those old ones to go and read aloud for the young ones. Now, while we're doing that, in some cases, we'll be having challenges of not having enough books, you know. And then with the variety of books that was donated to us today, I should think that they will assist us so that we take our kids through reading, you know, because we are saying that they must read for enjoyment, because most of the books are the story books. So the moment we actually promoting that love for reading, instilling that within them, so that when they are capable of reading, then they'll also do better in other subjects as well, because it all starts with reading.
Education goes a long way, even reading goes a long way, because it will be hard. It will be easier for you as a person if you understand how to read, you know how to read. It will be easier for you to speak also, because as a player you are not only surrounding to be in one place. You do travel the world. You see places. You meet people with different languages. So to read and be able to translate that in real life, it will also help you, because now we came here with like our English and Afrikaans book, which is, if these girls get the chance to go and play rugby in somewhere else, at least they will know exactly how to read or how to speak with other people, to interact with other people. What I can say is that with the sport, everyone like now, they have a chance to play for Western Province, because now rugby is not only starting when you are old or what. It started at the primary school level until the high school level. So they have all the chances now to play rugby and to represent their countries and stuff like that. So for them now, it's a start to come here and show them that we are playing rugby and we are also supporting education.
I'm feeling extremely happy. I thank for United Ways to come on board and help the women, because I remember last year they came. It's not their first time that they came to give us books. They came to give the club the parcel. So the girls were very happy. They are so happy. Even today they came to give the girls the books. So they always come and help us. It's very important. I always tell my girls, sport can't go alone. Sport must go with education, because there's anything that can happen, especially injuries. Because if you are injured, then you're out of play. But at least when you have the education, you have something to fall on. So I always encourage my girls that if you play sport, don't focus only on sport, focus on sport and also in education. They are very happy to see Springbok players, Western Province, and it's their first time, because their school is their first time that they're playing rugby. So for them to see the Springbok live, they are very happy. And also to see the women on TV, because it was not, the girls, the games was not televised before, but now that is televised, girls can see that rugby is really, women can play rugby. So they are very excited, and they see themselves playing for Springbok. They see themselves wearing the blue and white, the Western Province colors. So for the school to come, for the school, the Western Province executive and also the players to come to the school, to them, they take it serious, because this is what they want before.
Ons weet, lees is een van die magtigste en waardevolste vaardighede wat enige jong ontwikkelende kind kan hê. Jy het lees vir alles nodig. Sommige mense redeneer rekenaars, maar ons sê lees, want om iets te bestel in 'n restaurant moet jy kan lees. Om 'n koek te bak uit 'n resepteboek moet jy kan lees. Om akademies te vorder en selfs om 'n rekenaar te gebruik, moet jy in elk geval kan lees. So lees het ontelbare voorbeelde. Dit maak die wêreld oop. Dit leer vir jou wie jy is. Jy kan uitwerk waarna toe jy pad is. Dit maak dat jy bewus is van gevare rondom jou, dat jy ander op 'n pad kan neem en hulle toekoms net beter kan maak. Maar sonder lees glo ek dat 'n leerder nie sy bes op tot sy volle potensiaal sal kan ontwikkel nie. Sonder borge, sonder mense wat inkoop en sonder maatskappye wat belê of bereid is om te belê in ons kinders se ontwikkeling en se groei, gaan ons skole maar eintlik stagneer. So vandag is dit vir my baie, baie belangrik dat ek net die borge wat vandag moontlik maak, bedank. Die volgende persone, die volgende maatskappye, Western Province Women's Collective, Pay It Forward en United Ways maak hierdie dag moontlik. En ons is 'n jong skool met 'n ryk lang geskiedenis en ons is ook in die proses om ons biblioteek te ontwikkel sodat die kinders toegang het tot leesboeke en hulle wêrelde kan verbreed. So aan ons vernote baie, baie dankie.
Yes, I would just want to say that opportunity don't come to your way every day. So rather know how to read. And then with the rugby development within Stellenbosch, being part of a program, reading is very important. It's also empowering our girls in today's life. So reading is important just to cope with the day-to-day also, and just to know where you want to go in future, and how will you know what's going to be on your path if you don't read up what is out there. So with COVID, with the lockdown, it was difficult for our girls to play rugby. But today, with VP girls as players coming together and high performance coaches to talk to the girls, interact with the girls, and to talk about the experience and how reading for them is also important. And while they were in the lockdown, they saw the heroes on the TV, and it was great for them to interact today. So we as players and coaches expressed the importance of reading. So today was very special, not just for the school, but for the players and the learners to interact and share experiences during COVID, and then what is life beyond school, where you want to go. And it's not just for rugby, it's also any sport or any activity that keeps you out of harm's way. And what we create here in Stellenbosch is a safe haven for our girls, not just for rugby players, but for sport women and girls to feel safe, where they can have resources to tap in, to empower themselves, to make a change.
Fantastic initiative. Western Province Rugby getting involved there with United Way, and of course with Pay It Forward, and great campaign. And then just a reminder, if you are watching the show right now, that of course there is a request for all clubs to have a women's rugby representative, and to get involved with the recruitment of women and girls at club level. And folks, we'll take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll show you the reruns of the Laguna guys at training. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. We wrap it up then this evening. For those of you that missed out on the some of the training footage from Laguna, we went out there the week before last as the guys were on the field in Nyanga, busy with training. All, of course, according to the health and safety protocols. And they're just happy to be on the field and doing a bit of exercise again. We thought we'd show you that clip in case you missed it.
Yeah, to be back on the rugby field again is we are very happy to be back on the field. It was boring being at home, doing nothing on weekends. The weekends were long. But at least now we've got time to be on the field. We are happy. Yeah, that was a very, very happiest time, that time. Knowing that we want to be back on the field, playing rugby again, what we love. But there was a struggle, some of us stay away, but they managed to come to work on the playoff fleet. But now, since then the COVID came back, that's a sad story. The guys are back on the field because they're here for what they like, and then we're happy that we get another chance to be with you together again.
It's always good to be on the field. Yes, we are happy that we are here again. And as you can see also, we have a lot of youngsters here. They are hungry, they want to play, they want to make their names. I mean, they want to be on the Western Province side, on the Cheetahs, on all that stuff. They have a goal to you see. But being here on the field, we are all happy. Yeah, that's the only challenge we have here, because as you can see, like, the youngsters want to be on the field. But they also need to be careful, you see. So, like you saw me earlier, when you came here, I was busy with them, telling them to wear masks and sanitize and social distancing, all that stuff. So that's the challenge we have. Like, we have to be here early before they come, so that we make sure that we follow the rules, the COVID rules, all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we were happy with the progress we had because we played 4 friendlies, né? Yeah, 4 friendlies. We lost 2 and we won 2. Yeah, so I mean we were getting there. You see, we were trying to apply the structures and fitness, all that stuff, but unfortunately we had to stop again because of the lockdown and the COVID or so. But we're here again. We're starting afresh. We're happy. Yeah, it's a bonus for us because you see we are in the township. You know, life in township, it's not easy. There are a lot of bad things happening here. So for us being on the field, I mean, we are safe, and those youngsters are also safe. They don't have to go and do all those things because there's shootings, there's robberies, the crime is there. You see, so when the youngsters are on the field, I mean, we can all say no, we are all happy. You see.
Last year we were on pre-season when we were in intensive training. Then all of a sudden when we were preparing for friendlies, the lockdown kicks in. We were then stopped from practicing first of all. Then we were later stopped. We were told that there will be no matches. Then we were on hold for a while. Then we were hoping that we were going to come back. People were running on their own. But as one of my co-players said that out there's robberies. If you are running on your own, you might be robbed. Sometimes we would then take some of the guys to run at the beach just to pick up fitness, so that by the time that we will be called back to the field that we love most and then play rugby, we would then be ready. But unfortunately we didn't manage to go back to the field in 2020. Now we were hoping in 2021. That was a huge rivalry. As you know, that we were not allowed to have spectators on the field. We were struggling there on the gate to chase away spectators, not to watch the matches. Some of them were hanging on the fence. As you see that at least Lagunya field now is fenced enough. But then we couldn't have spectators, as you were once saying that this is rivalry. This is where black rugby, I would say, started. Before me even, I played rugby. That was what we were then watching on Easters. But then, unfortunately, we couldn't then perform that standard that we were given. We played against them, and then we couldn't do that on the league because of being held on COVID. Most of the players, they do know what Lagunya stands for. So some of them, the Lagunya produced players that are playing for Springboks. The likes of Skumbuzo Noche that came and played rugby in this club. So that's what most of these youngsters are looking for. They also want to be there on the green and gold. Unfortunately, of this COVID, they can't do what they want to do and what they like of being in the rugby field. But they're passionate. Some of them were hoping that we could have some of the competition for this remaining time of the year, but unfortunately we don't think that would be possible because of now we're seeing the numbers again are rising up. We couldn't be able. We were hoping for few friendlies before we would then call it a year for rugby this year.
A lot, man. But I mean, what can we say? It is what it is, and we have to follow whatever is. I mean, we have to follow the COVID stuff, but still, we need to put our boys' life first before the rugby. That's the most important thing. The boys, but we love rugby, and to be honest, we're hurt, but there's nothing we can do. But I've seen the guys now. They're coming to the field with numbers. And we're enjoying to be here, to be honest. We're enjoying playing rugby. Rugby is like everything to us. We had the plan, to be honest. We had the plan, and we were following our plan in the right direction, to be honest. But obviously, I don't know what to say, but we're up there. The fitness level was high, the energy of the boys was also high. The numbers in the practice was a lot of guys. Since even here today, you can see there was a lot of guys on the practice, and it was good for the club and the community as well. Yeah, to be honest, to us, as you see, Nyanga is one of the communities that crime is very high. And to able to have these boys on the field, to be honest, it's saving a lot of life for them. And I'm happy to see them here, because if they're not here, they're in trouble. So it's rather to be here than to be out there on the street. As you know, Nyanga, they rate Nyanga one of the highest crime in Western Cape. So having these boys on the field is something that I cannot explain. And to be honest, some of the parents of the boys, they keep phoning me, thanking me to having these boys on the field, because once again out there it's a jungle, so they're safe here. This is our safe zone.
Well, there we go. Laguna, busy at training. Great for us to at least be able to show some of the clubs busy with their training sessions. And we're looking forward to seeing which other clubs are active, so we can get the camera out there and keep showcasing club rugby. Folks, that's a wrap from us then this evening. We trust that you will have a safe and pleasant time out there. And of course, we remind you to follow all of the health and safety protocols. Remember, practice the social distancing, wash your hands, and of course, always wear a mask. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. A fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.